It's often said laughter is the best medicine, and one local cancer survivor believes that's true. Since winning her fight, she's been on a mission to spread joy and laughter to others going through the same battle. This week, her co-workers got in on the action, creating gifts that will go to those currently fighting breast cancer. 3 News Now reporter Megan Hahn has her inspiring story.
Selfie queen.
Cheryl Stevens knows that a simple laugh and a smile can go far in the fight against breast cancer.
I was diagnosed in 2006 with breast cancer, chose to do a bilateral mastectomy, and went through 6 months of treatments.
Her experience became a mission through Flamingos for Hope.
We're lifting up spirits and giving people permission to have some fun.
A lesson in laughter as dozens of First National Bank employees showed a small lunchtime gesture can make a big impact.
Cheryl started it because when she was going through treatment herself, she felt better when she was wearing a silly hat or dressing up or something. And so she felt that just being able to do that for others going through it will at least bring a smile to their face.
My aunt had breast cancer and she's a survivor, and so for me to be asked to take some time during lunch to come down and make a hat was an easy, absolutely, can't wait to be there. And I think a lot of people I feel the same way.
Crazy, colorful, troll-inspired hairwear. It'll go to patients at the Methodist Estabrook Cancer Center.
Cancer affects a lot of people, and just being able to have some fun, just warm their spirit a little bit, makes a tremendous difference.
Oh gosh, I hope their faces just light up.
And I bet they will. What a great idea. On Tuesday, Flamingos for Hope and First National Bank will wrap up crafting for their October-themed hats. 3,500 infants die each year from sleep-related deaths. October is SIDS Awareness Month, and Project Harmony says this is the perfect time to remember the ABCs. Infants should be placed alone on their back and in a crib. Pillows, crib bumpers, and stuffed animals should not be in a crib with a baby because of the risk of suffocation. Pediatrician Suzanne Haney says it's a common myth that it's safer for infants to sleep on their stomachs.
Interestingly, it's exactly the opposite. They're more likely to choke on their belly because the windpipe is in front of the esophagus, which is where the food goes. So if you're laying on your belly, your food is actually going to fall forward and is more likely going to get into your lungs.
If you don't have a safe place for an infant to sleep, such as a crib, the Douglas County Health Department has baby boxes available, which are safe for babies to sleep in. A plot of land near Adams, Nebraska looks like your typical country setting, but what's happening on that plot is revolutionary, at least for the Good Life state. It's home to what's known as an earthship, believed to be the first one in Nebraska. A home made of recycled materials that is completely self-sustainable. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Brendan Sullivan met the woman behind the project.
I have probably an overly developed sense of independence. I love the idea of living on a homestead where I grow most of my own food, I create my own energy. I will have solar panels on the earthship so that I'll be off-grid. And I like not being dependent on other systems. So an earthship is an off-grid sustainable house that heats and cools itself, collects its own water, and manages its own sewage. So the roof collects the rainwater. It goes into a cistern that is all filtered for you to use inside the house. Once you've used the water, and the gray water goes into a planter that's in the greenhouse. So I will be growing vegetables and fruits, and hopefully the vast majority of my food will come from the planter. At the end of the planter, the water gets filtered, and you use that water to flush the toilets. So I've wanted one forever. My biggest problem was trying to figure out where to put one, and so finally decided I was going to live in Nebraska permanently, and found this land and made an offer, which it was perfect. I never expected to live on a lake, but I really like it. So the earthship itself is a little over 1,000 square feet, and it'll have 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, laundry room, and then half of the house is just the kitchen and the living room area. And the whole front of the house is glass, so that in the winter you have the passive solar gain that will heat up the tire wall, the concrete. There's 2 foot of dirt behind the tires and then insulation, so it'll heat up all that 2 foot. I'm kind of the crazy tire house lady. My grandson says that Nana has a tire house. But all of the tires will be covered. They're all going to be plastered over. So it's not like you walk into a house and go, oh, yeah, that lady's got a wall built out of tires. You won't see them. Once it's built and it's all enclosed and finished, you would never know that there's tires in the wall. You'll never know that most of the materials have been recycled. It's just a very sustainable, earth-friendly home.
How cool is that? And what a gorgeous setting. Now, Kruger's model is fairly standard as earthships go. The design is based on an earthship in Australia. When all is said and done, it will cost about $57,000 to complete. Omaha Sunday Morning continues after the break.